Tonight on the America's Car-Mart Football Report, 124 teams, their coaches and players consort to game plan against opponents, expose every flaw, because guess what? It's playoff time in Arkansas. The also-rans, mediocre, Midland, average teams are all caught on the branches lining this football stream. The ones left canoe swiftly toward a single destination. A December date in the Rock is their great expectation. Sure, big games await on further downstream in the semis and finals. Classic matchups like a dream. But this week begins the drama of loser go home. The 8 yet undefeated don't want all their work blown. I'm David Wallace, soon to be joined by Barry Grooms. Barely able to contain the excitement that looms as the heavyweights go on their first playoff prowl. The America's Car-Mart Football Report starts now. Oh, baby, there's just something about the second season, the postseason, the playoffs that just makes the poetry flow, you know? Certainly the intensity ramps up now. 5 of the 6 defending champions are still alive to go back-to-back. Only McCrory and AA didn't make it back. Let's jump into the brackets, beginning with 7A and a rundown of the 7A top 10 on Hootens.com. They stay the same from a week ago. On top is 7A Central champion Bryant with a first-round bye. Cabot finished second in the Central and also has a bye. The Panthers are second this week. Third-ranked Conway finished third in the Central. Bentonville won the 7A West and has a bye as the fourth-ranked team. Number 5, Bentonville West. Number 6, Rogers. And number 7, Fayetteville finished tied as 7A West runners-up. Fayetteville gets the bye out of that group. Then you have North Little Rock at number 8, followed by Fort Smith Northside at 9, and Fort Smith Southside ranked 10. Well, last week, Hootens.com correctly predicted all 8 games. Let's see how we do this time. In the top half of the bracket for the first round, top-ranked Bryant at 9-0 has a bye. You have number 9, Fort Smith Northside at number 6, Rogers. Hootens.com picking the homestanding Mounties of Rogers. Fayetteville has a bye. Then Harbor at number 3, Conway. Harbor made the playoffs with a 1-6 conference record. This should be a big win for Conway. Let's go to the bottom half of the 7A bracket. Number 4, Bentonville gets the bye there. Number 10, Fort Smith Southside travels to 8th-ranked North Little Rock. The Charging Wildcats' 3 conference losses are to teams with a combined regular season record of 25-4. Hootens.com likes North Little Rock to win this one. Second-ranked Cabot has a bye, along with Bentonville in this half of the bracket. Then you have 5th-ranked Bentonville West hosting Jonesboro. This should be a big win for Bentonville West. Well, Barry, there's your 7A picks. What do you think about those?
Northside's coming into the playoffs as the 5th seed out of the Central, and the Grizzlies broke a 3-game losing streak last week to upend Little Rock Southwest. Rogers, meanwhile, on a 2-game win streak, and the Mounties put up lots of points that could be trouble for Northside.
Good enough. Let's go on to Class 6A now and look at the Hootens.com top 10 ranking. Greenwood stays at number 1 despite losing at Little Rock Christian last week. Number 2 is Pulaski Academy, followed by unbeaten Little Rock Catholic at 3. Benton moves up 1 to number 4 after throttling Sheridan. Little Rock Christian also advancing 1 spot after beating Greenwood. The Warriors are 5th this week. Lake Hamilton is down 2 spots to number 6 after a close loss at Pulaski Academy. Then you have Marion at 7, West Memphis at 8. El Dorado is ranked 9th, and Russellville is the 10th-ranked team. In Class 6A, Hootens.com last week correctly picked 7 of 9 games. And let's get into this week's picks. In the top half of the 6A bracket, number 1 Greenwood has a bye. 10th-ranked Russellville goes to number 8 West Memphis. Russellville was open last week after finishing the regular season with a 37-27 loss at Lake Hamilton. West Memphis limps into the playoffs on a 2-game losing streak after starting the season 4-0. Tough one to pick, but Hootens.com is going with Russellville here. Elsewhere in this 6A bracket, Benton has a bye. Number 6, Lake Hamilton hosts Searcy. The Lions ended the season with wins over Jacksonville and West Memphis to qualify for the playoffs, but Hootens.com thinks that run will end. The Wolves of Lake Hamilton get the pick here. Let's go to the bottom half of the bracket now. Little Rock Catholic has its first bye in the playoffs in a long time. The Rockets are 10-0. Top 10 battle between 9th-ranked El Dorado and number 6 Little Rock Christian in West Little Rock. Hootens.com goes with the Warriors in that one. Number 2 Pulaski Academy has a bye, and then number 7 Marion hosts Mountain Home. Mountain Home won its final 3 games to qualify for the playoffs after starting 0-3, but Hootens.com picks the Patriots of Marion. Barry, how about those 6A games?
Very intriguing game out in West Little Rock when El Dorado goes to Little Rock Christian. El Dorado's the defending state champion. The Wildcats have won 3 of their past 4 games. Last week, they led Jacksonville 49-0 in the first half. El Dorado's offense has gotten a lot better since freshman quarterback Mitchell Polk took over the reins. And Little Rock Christian ambushed Greenwood last week 49-13. Just a week after Greenwood had won the conference championship. Little Rock Christian's junior quarterback Walker White had a big game, over 300 yards and 4 touchdowns. He's developed in one of the state's best quarterbacks.
All right, Barry, at America's Car-Mart, they're all about giving back, paying it forward, just being a part of the community. During November, Car-Mart is conducting its 14th annual Holiday Toy Drive. The goal is to collect 30,000 toys to share with 25 children's hospitals in Car-Mart's 12-state area. And we'll return on the America's Car-Mart Football Report after this.
Can't wait for kickoff. Man, it's time for some football. I'm Chad Hooten for America's Car-Mart. If you're headed to the game, just remember that America's Car-Mart is all in for Arkansas high school football. And when you shop at America's Car-Mart, they're all in for you. From purchase to payoff, Car-Mart will work with you and your individual situation. It's personal for Car-Mart. Just go see for yourself why Car-Mart is different from all the rest. You can stay connected by following Car-Mart on social media or online at car-mart.com. America's Car-Mart, keeping you on the road and good neighbors in our communities. Coming up next, more from the America's Car-Mart Football Studios. David Wallace and the Hootens crew with more rankings, analysis, and predictions next on the America's Car-Mart Football Report.
Not all college ends with a bachelor's degree. There are shorter-term programs that help students get to work in a profession they love. Best of all, Arkansas needs qualified workers in these high-demand fields: healthcare, industry manufacturing, and information technology. There are scholarships such as Arkansas Workforce Challenge and Our Future that will help pay for classes. Apply today at scholarships.adhe.edu.
Okay, I gotta pick up some beef for the cookout. Now what's good?
Let Tony make the call.
Tony Romo? What are you doing in a butcher shop?
Just something I picked up in the off-season. What's up?
I'm on my way to a barbecue. What should I bring?
Steaks, hamburgers, brisket.
Are those my choices?
That's your order. Beef is the best way to make your cookouts extraordinary this summer.
Thanks, Tony.
Another satisfied customer. All right, who's next? Beef. It's what's for dinner. Funded by beef farmers and ranchers.
You're listening to a public service announcement from the Arkansas Attorney General. Every day, we are flooded with robocalls from criminals who change their caller ID to look like local numbers, claiming to be a grandchild in jail, the IRS, or maybe it's just Rachel from Card Services. Don't let someone you know fall prey to these scams. Together, let's stop these illegal calls. Let your Attorney General do the fighting for you. Call 800-482-8982 or visit arkansasag.gov.
Back in the America's Car-Mart studios on this America's Car-Mart Football Report. Let's move on to Class 5A now and run down the rankings as we head to the postseason. Number 1 is Little Rock Parkview at 8-2. A 9-1 Joe T. Robinson team checks in at number 2. Then you have Shiloh Christian at 3. Mills is up 1 spot to number 4. Camden Fairview drops 1 position to number 5 after losing to Little Rock Parkview. Farmington is 6th. Prairie Grove is up 1 to number 7 after a 1-point loss at Farmington. Valley View drops 1 to number 8 after losing to Batesville. Hot Springs is 9th. Then you have Wynn next. The 10th-ranked Yellow Jackets shared the 5A East title this fall. Let's go to the top half of the bracket in 5A. Second-ranked Joe T. Robinson at home is a favorite over Magnolia. 7th-ranked Prairie Grove playing at home is favored over Batesville. Hootens.com likes top-ranked Little Rock Parkview big over Marlton, that game in War Memorial Stadium. 10th-ranked Wynn will host Harrison. This is the third meeting in 25 years for these storied programs. Hootens.com has a tough pick here, but Hootens.com is going with win in what could be a very close game. Barry, there's the top half of the 5A bracket, and I know there are some things to talk about there.
Batesville Prairie Grove should be interesting because Prairie Grove's leading rusher, Ethan Miller, he's out with a broken leg. Broke it on the first play last week against Farmington. Look for junior Connor Hubbs and sophomore Jace Edwards to fill his role on offense.
Okay, let's move on to the bottom part of the bracket in 5A. 6th-ranked Farmington will go to number 8 Valley View. Another tight game, but Hootens.com likes the visitors from Farmington there. Number 5, Camden Fairview will host Bologna. Another close one. Hootens.com picks the Cardinals of Camden Fairview. Number 3, Shiloh Christian is a home favorite over Nettleton. Number 9, Hot Springs travels to 4th-ranked Mills in the Hootens.com Class 5A Game of the Week. And Hootens.com goes with Mills there. Well, Barry, the bottom half of the bracket has some choice matchups for us, doesn't it?
Hot Springs is at Mills. These teams haven't played since 2001. That was a non-conference game. None of these players were even born back then. Last week, Mills junior quarterback Achilles Ringo lit it up at Bologna. He had almost 400 yards and 3 touchdowns, and the Comets had a big night from Jabray Shaw on both sides of the ball. He had an interception and had nearly 250 yards of total offense. Meanwhile, Hot Springs counters with dynamic junior quarterback Matthew Contreras and big-time receiver Octavian Rhodes. Those guys hooked up 8 times last week for 190 yards in the first 3 quarters against Lakeside.
This is the America's Car-Mart Football Report.
Okay, David, sounds like some great games this week. I'm Chad Hooten with Hooten's Arkansas Football for America's Car-Mart. And just like all the hard-working high school football players, the folks at Car-Mart work hard to keep you on the road. Car-Mart knows that buying a vehicle is a big decision, and that's why they take selling you a vehicle very seriously. When you shop at Car-Mart, they're there for you. Car-Mart cares about you and your vehicle ownership. You know what? You can save time at the dealership by starting your car buying journey online at car-mart.com. It's America's Car-Mart, keeping you on the road. That's their pledge to you. And coming up next, more from the America's Car-Mart Football Report Studios. David and the Hootens gang with analysis of more matchups and those crystal ball predictions. Next on the America's Car-Mart Football Report.
Going to college may not look the same as it has before, but you have the power to move forward. There are over 1,000 hands-on or online programs in Arkansas designed to put you to work, and they qualify for state scholarships and grants. Healthcare, education, computer technology, industry technology, and more. Take your next step forward. Visit explorearcareers.com with instructions about how to apply.
Hey everyone, it's Tony Romo, and I'm here to remind you that it's grilling season. And how do you make those summer cookouts extraordinary? With beef. Whether you're slow roasting ribs or throwing a couple of hamburgers on the grill, some top sirloin kebabs, or, wait, what was I saying again? Oh, yeah! Set your grilling season on fire this year with beef. Beef, it's what's for dinner. For more ideas, visit beefitswhatsfordinner.com. Funded by beef farmers and ranchers.
Don't miss the return of Nighthawk Athletics this fall at National Park College in Hot Springs. With baseball, softball, cross country, men and women's basketball, and newly added men and women's soccer, Nighthawk Nation has something for every sports fan in the Spa City. Cheer on the Nighthawks this season as NPC competes for an NJCAA Region 2 championship and continues to make sports history here in Hot Springs. For more information, visit np.edu/athletics. Get 'em Hawks!
David Wallace back with you now, moving on to Class 4A, and the rankings show Arkadelphia staying at number 1 after blowing out 5th-ranked Malvern a week ago. The 2nd-ranked Harding Academy Wildcats are unbeaten in their first year in 4A and have a first-round bye. Warren is 3rd, followed by Star City at 4, Malvern at 5. Stuttgart is ranked 6th, Pocahontas 7th. Elkins moves up 2 spots to number 8 after blowing out Lincoln. The Elks have the other first-round bye in 4A. McGee is 9th. Then you have Harmony Grove Haskell down 2 spots to number 10 after losing at Bauxite. All right, let's look at the picks for the first round of the playoffs in 4A, top half of the bracket. Number 2, Harding Academy has the bye, as we mentioned. DeWitt at Gravett. Hootens.com picking DeWitt there. Number 10, Harmony Grove Haskell at home to Bald Knob. These programs split non-conference games against each other in 2017 and 2018. So recent history, but this time Hootens.com likes Harmony Grove Haskell. Number 9, McGee is a road favorite at Gosnell in what should be a very close game. McGee has won 4 straight now. Number 1, Arkadelphia is home against Clinton, and the Badgers are picked to get the win. Ozark, another home favorite, as the Hillbillies host Mena. Then you have Rivercrest welcoming Gentry. Hootens.com picking the Colts of Rivercrest. And Star City, yet another home favorite, welcoming Truman. Well, Barry, how about those games in Class 4A?
Well, Arkadelphia knocked Clinton out of the playoffs last year in the first round by 30 points. This one could be very similar. Clinton throws the ball well, but Arkadelphia may be the hottest team in Class 4A.
All right, then, let's move on to the bottom half of the 4A bracket. Number 8, Elkins has a bye there. Ashdown traveling to Lone Oak. Hootens.com picking Ashdown. Number 7, Pocahontas welcomes Lincoln. Pocahontas quarterback Connor Baker needs 2 rushing touchdowns to break the state record for career rushing TDs, and Hootens.com thinks the Redskins will get it done against Lincoln. Nashville is a road favorite traveling to Bauxite. Number 3, Warren secured its second straight outright 8-4A title. Last week's 42-7 victory over Hamburg. The Lumberjacks welcome Blytheville this week. Blytheville has lost 4 straight games by a combined 62 points. Hootens.com picks Warren. Number 6, Stuttgart, a home favorite against Crossit. Lamar welcomes Riverview. You know, Lamar beat Riverview in non-conference games the past 2 seasons by a combined 103-26. Hootens.com likes Lamar to do it again. Number 5, Malvern, a home favorite over Pottsville. That wraps up the 4A bracket. Barry, break it down for us.
David, looking at Ashdown at Lone Oak. Ashdown went into Lone Oak County last year and got a 21-point victory in the first round of the playoffs. This one could be much closer. Ashdown just snapped a 3-game losing streak back in Week 8, and Lone Oak's 4 losses this year are to teams with a combined record of 34-3, and those losses have been by a total of 15 points.
And we're moving on to Class 3A after this on the America's Car-Mart Football Report.
All right, David, getting a little closer to kickoff. I'm Chad Hooten for America's Car-Mart, keeping you on the road. It's America's Car-Mart, and they will do all they can to keep you on the road. America's Car-Mart makes it easy to buy. They offer affordable, quality vehicles, low down payments, plus optional service contracts to offer a little peace of mind. And if you're credit challenged, America's Car-Mart is the place for you. Affordable used vehicles with low down payments, flexible payment plans. It's America's Car-Mart, keeping you on the road. And coming up next, it's more of the America's Car-Mart Football Report.
Exciting news for Arkansas students. Our team at the Arkansas Division of Higher Education has been hard at work to improve your scholarship application experience. So starting after October 1st, you will no longer log on to the Universal application to apply for and manage your scholarship applications. Instead, you will be going to SAMS, our scholarship application management system. Don't worry though, our team of financial aid experts will be there to help you navigate our revamped application process. So go ahead and start researching your financial aid options now at sams.adhe.edu.
Don't miss the return of Nighthawk Athletics this fall at National Park College in Hot Springs. With baseball, softball, cross country, men and women's basketball, and newly added men and women's soccer, Nighthawk Nation has something for every sports fan in the Spa City. Cheer on the Nighthawks this season as NPC competes for an NJCAA Region 2 championship and continues to make sports history here in Hot Springs. For more information, visit np.edu/athletics. Get 'em Hawks!
Friday night football sometimes means Friday night injury. For the 4th season in a row, the Arkansas children's team is available to get your athletes the immediate treatment they need. From pulled hamstrings to torn ACLs, sports medicine specialists and orthopedic surgeons are available from 10 to midnight at the Arkansas Children's Hospital Friday Night Sports Injury Clinic. All through the regular season, Arkansas Children's Hospital Friday Night Sports Injury Clinic. No appointment necessary.
This is the America's Car-Mart Football Report, and we're moving on to Class 3A. where on Hootens.com the top 6 teams stay the same from a week ago. Number 1 is Prescott, the 5-3A champs, have been our top-ranked team all year. Charleston is number 2, followed by Risen. The Wildcats won the 6-3A and have a first-round bye. 4th is Melbourne, completing the first undefeated season in school history. The Bearcats are 10-0. Boonville is 5th, followed by Glen Rose at number 6. Osceola moves up 1 to number 7 after beating Manila. Newport is up 1 as well after beating Perryville, and the Greyhounds are 8th. Hoxie is up 1 to 9. The Mustangs beat Walnut Ridge by 1 point last week. Then you have Center Point at number 10, up 1 spot after getting past Bismarck a week ago. Let's look at the Class 3A picks for this week. The top half of the bracket shows number 6 Glen Rose with a bye. The Beavers are the number 1 seed out of their conference. Fordyce at home to Mansfield. Hootens.com picking the Red Bugs to win that one. Number 4 Melbourne should go to 11-0. Picked to win at home against Jesseville. And Greenland is a road favorite at Falk. Number 7 Osceola welcomes Perryville, and Hootens.com likes Osceola in that one. Camden Harmony Grove is a big favorite at home against Corning. That one won't be close. Barton at Smackover. Slight upset pick here as Hootens.com picks the Bears of Barton. Number 5 Boonville welcomes Junction City. Hootens.com thinks Boonville will end the Dragons season. Well, Barry, before we go any further, break down that part of the bracket for us.
Mansfield's at Fordyce, and Fordyce has a strong running attack with Kristen Beelan last week. He had 161 yards, 2 touchdowns, and a big 2-point conversion in a win over Lake Village. And on the other hand, Mansfield's defense has given up just 16 points a game and allowed less than 100 yards rushing per game.
Let's slide on down to the bottom half of the bracket then. Number 3, Risen has a first-round bye. Bismarck welcomes Manila. This game will be played at Hot Springs Lakeside. Bismarck, the home team, and picked to win. Number 1, Prescott is a big favorite over Drew Central in what should be a blowout. That game at Prescott. And Salem is a home favorite at Walnut Ridge. Moving on, Hootens.com likes number 2 Charleston at home in what could be a blowout over the Gurdon Go Devils. 10th ranked Center Point at home is the favorite over Lavaca. And number 8 Newport, a pick at home against Magnet Cove. Hootens.com also likes number 9 Hoxie at home against Quitman. Barry?
Got Lavaca at center point running back Jace Clark. He's averaging 184 yards a game. Lavaca struggling on offense without quarterback Maddox Knoll. Could be a big victory for center point.
All right, that's that for 3A. Let's move on to Class 2A now and run down the Hootens.com rankings. Hazen is on top. The number 1 Hornets survived rival Carlisle last week to win the 4AA championship. Bigelow is up 1 to number 2 after winning the 1-2A title. Derricks is up 2 spots to number 3 after beating Mount Ida for the 3AA crown. 4th is Carlisle. Then you have Mount Ida slipping 2 spots to number 5. Earl is up 1 to number 6. Desark also up 2 after winning the 2AA title. The Eagles are 6 and 3. East Poinsett County at number 8 is up 2 positions and runners up in the 2AA. Hector is down 1 to number 9. Then you have Episcopal rounding out the top 10. Let's get to this week's picks in the top half of the bracket. Number 2, Bigelow, welcoming number 6, Earl. That's a big game, but Hootens.com picks Bigelow there. Number 4, Carlisle, welcoming Mineral Springs. This one could be close. Hootens.com going with Carlisle. Number 7, Desark is favored at home over Magazine in a blowout. And 5th-ranked Mount Ida gets the nod over 10th-ranked Episcopal. That game over in West Arkansas. Barry, before we check the bottom half of the bracket, how about those games?
Earl at Bigelow to be a great game, David. Earl comes into the game as the number 4 seed out of the 2-2A, but the Bulldogs are riding a 5-game win streak. They just crushed Cross County last week, 42-0. They're led by senior quarterback Tyrone Hurst III and junior receiver Joseph McVeigh. Bigelow, on the other hand, is 9-1, just wrapped up the 1-2A title, and Bigelow is led by senior playmaker Bennett Johnson. He's got over 1,400 all-purpose yards, and junior quarterback Rhett Newmeyer is having a huge season.
Okay, then, let's move on to the bottom half of the bracket. 3rd-ranked Derricks is home against England. Hootens.com likes the Outlaws there. 8th-ranked East Poinsett County is another home favorite over Hector. Number 1 Hazen at home, a big favorite over 5-5 Poen. Mark Tree at Conway Christian. Now this is an interesting one. Hootens.com, though, going with a mild upset, picking the Mark Tree Indians on the road. All right, that wraps up Double A. Let's move on now to 8-man. For the sanctioned teams, here's your top 5. Number 1 is unbeaten Mountain Pine, followed by second-ranked Woodlawn. Then you have Spring Hill at 3, Izard County Consolidated at 4, and Rector at number 5. They're in the quarterfinal round for the sanctioned teams, and here are your picks in the quarterfinals. Number 3, Spring Hill traveling to number 4, Izard County Consolidated, and Hootens.com goes with Spring Hill in a very good matchup. Number 2, Woodlawn is a home favorite over Brinkley. Those two teams will meet next week in the semis. Number 1, Mountain Pine is home against Midland. Hootens.com goes with Mountain Pine. And number 5, Rector gets the nod at home over Strong.
You're listening to a public service announcement from the Arkansas Attorney General. Parents, would you let your child get in a car with someone you don't know or spend the night with a stranger? If you don't know who your children are texting and gaming with on their phones, you could be allowing dangerous people into your home and their bedrooms. Be informed, and together let's protect our kids. Let your Attorney General do the fighting for you. Call 800-482-8982 or visit arkansasag.gov.
Friday night football sometimes means Friday night injury. For the 4th season in a row, the Arkansas children's team is available to get your athletes the immediate treatment they need. From pulled hamstrings to torn ACLs, sports medicine specialists and orthopedic surgeons are available from 10 to midnight at the Arkansas Children's Hospital Friday Night Sports Injury Clinic. All through the regular season, Arkansas Children's Hospital Friday Night Sports Injury Clinic. No appointment necessary.
I know it's hard to believe, but we've already come to the end of this America's Car-Mart Football Report. Remember, the best way to keep up with all the playoff games while they're going on is to frequently check the high school scoreboard on Hootens.com, powered by First Security. By this time next week, the playoff field will be sliced in half and the pressure will be dialed up. I'm David Wallace. We'll see you then on the next America's Car-Mart Football Report.